I'd like to show over a beautiful word, which is a big lesson and a big limit to learn from this week's parsha. It says in Perek Yud Zayin, in Parsha Shoftim, in Pasuk Yud Ches, it says, "V'hoyu kishivto al kisim ha'melachtoi, v'kosav lo yes mishna Torah zois al sefer melifnei ha'kohanim haLevim." We know that king has two sefer Torahs. On two sefer Torah, one sefer Torah, when he goes out, a king goes out, one he keeps in his safe, in the Genozov, as Rashi says, Shtei sefer Torah v'achashi menachas bebeis Genozov, in the safe, and another sefer Torah v'achas shenichnas of yotza imo, another sefer Torah he should have on him when he's entering, going out. He should have all that sefer Torah on him the whole time. As well, the next pasuk writes, as the hoizo imo yukavah boy kol yemei chayov leman yilmad liyivo es Hashem Elokov lishma es kol ha'tivei Torah zois es achokim ha'ela la'soisom. And the question is that what's the mile of having the sefer Torah on him the whole time? Why does the king, especially speaking about a king, what's the mile? What is the advantage? What's the pasuk telling us? You need to have the sefer Torah on him the whole time. Kol yemei chayav, the pasuk writes. Well, what's it teaching us? I'm thinking now how that the pasuk teaching us, explaining that we see in the pasuk that the hanhogas hachaim, the way to live as a yid and to manage Klal Yisrael, to lead Klal Yisrael is through the Torah. Because they ought to be matzliach, and when the king needs to go to war, going somewhere outside where he needs to go. Sometimes the only way to be matzliach and siyat shema, obviously we know is the Torah. Torah is the hanhokas hachaim. This is kein chayenu oiv chamenu. This is what we live on. This is our life. To be able to survive and to be able to live as a yid, and to live api das Torah, and to live api Hashem. That it's only through the Torah, and through the Torah it's kaviyach like a blueprint. It's a blueprint of the world. It's the foundation. It's the making of how to live as a yid. The hanhaga to live as a yid is through the Torah, and that's what Pasuk teaches us. You need to have it. Kol yemei chayav, as one explained what is the Pasuk saying. Leman yilmad yivo es Hashem Elokov lishma es kol divrei Torah zois. Ought to have yiras shamayim to keep kol divrei Torah zois. That is the essence of foundation of a yid, and especially obviously it's for every yid, especially by a king where he's leading Klal Yisrael and he's going to strive when to go to war, milchama, when to do this, when to do that, and as a leader, to be a leader, we need, some leaders do things without api das Torah, but to be a real leader, like Moshe Rabbeinu, the real leader. Moshe Rabbeinu, he's the highest leader of Klal Yisrael. So Moshe Rabbeinu, he went for api das Torah, and people try to, during the parashas, people try to argue with Moshe, and they think maybe Chas Shalom, Moshe Rabbeinu never went api das Torah, but really, as I think the Pasuk explain, and the Joshua and the Mefarshim explain now, everything what Moshe did is all api Hashem, api das Torah. This is a good example of a leader who lived with Torah his whole life and manage Klal Yisrael through the Torah. And we know as well the next passing in Pasuk Chav says Vilti vum levov me'ochiv leviti sur me'amitzvah yomin ismol says man yamich yomim amalachtoi hu b'bono b'kerev Yisrael. And we see that through the Torah, it's also through that, then the man yarich yomim amalachtoi, it's lengthen his reign. Would lengthen his reign and get a lot of brachos, and his reignship would be lengthened for a long time through living api, through having that Torah on him his whole life. And that's the bracha. We see the Torah brings tremendous bracha to the world, and able to be matzliach in everything is through the Torah. And I heard somebody big. I was talking to a big Talmud Chacham before, and he told me over at Tiferet Shlomo. The very interesting Tiferet Shlomo. We know that by when we say Birchas Torah every morning, every day every morning we say Birchas Torah, and obviously halacha is we just say some psukim like Torah Shabbatzav, Torah Shabbat straight after the Birchas Torah, that the Birchas Torah shouldn't be a bracha levatala, the bracha should be chal on something. I mean, you start off the Birchas Torah with the psukim or Torah Shabbat, and all Torah Shabbat we choose the Birchas Kohanim. Yivachecha Hashem, we choose all the pieces of the Birchas Kohanim. And the question is, why of all Torah Shabbat, what's unique about Birchas Kohanim? What's unique about Yivachecha, the bracha of Birchas Kohanim? What's unique about it? And Dr. Tiferet Shlomo telling us an unbelievable idea, telling us that the brachas, we know Kohanim is from Shevet Levi, and we know Shevet Levi symbolizes Torah. And therefore, Kohanim, that's why Hashem gave the brachas to the Kohanim, because Kohanim symbolizes Torah, because Mela, the Torah, if a person learns Torah, it will brings brachas to the world, it will brings brachas to Klal Yisrael. And Mela, if somebody really connect himself to Torah, for example, Shevet Levi, who's a dugma, who symbolizes Torah, then they're able to also give the brachas. They like Kaviyach, some level, some part of the Torah, Sefer Torah, they're able to give the brachas, because they connect themselves to Torah, and that's what the Kohanim, that's why we mentioned the Bechas Kohanim, because to telling us that the Torah is, when we're learning Torah, Torah is what brings brachos, and the Mela, when the people who learn the Torah, learns Torah, then he has the koyach, he's able to give brachos. And that's what we see, go to brachos, see all big gedolim, big Talmid Chacham, we ask for brachos, because they're essence, part of a Sefer Torah, which they're able to give a bracha, they live with that Torah, they have that Sefer Torah, and that's what the message, what the Pasuk teaching us, that the talk about the Torah with the king, the Torah what brings is the foundation, what brings a person to be matzliach, what brings a person tremendous brachos, is through connect yourself to Torah, and that is what why we read the Bechas, the Bechas Kohanim of the Bechas Torah, because Mela through that's what enabled, that's what Mela nichla with all the brachos. And I want to tell you, we also know that when Klal, for every time when the person learns Torah, is he becomes, the Gemara says, becomes even higher on a higher level, even greater than the Kohen Gadol on Yom Kippur.